we have the current stock market analysis for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, share prices did manage to make a jump yesterday. What we're looking at here is the daily price chart. This was largely based on the news that Palantir will be included along with Dell in the S&P 500, which is an interesting development. We also saw American Airlines being taken out of the S&P 500. So we can see here clearly that there's an increased focus on the AI space, which is also interesting because there's a lot of discussion about whether or not AI stocks can continue to run higher and things like that. So this does tell you where the S&P 500 thinks that these market trends will be going. So as things currently stand, we're only trading about $1.40 above the prior highs. So as expected, really, this has not created a substantial difference in share prices themselves. The prior, as we can see here, the prior price high came in at 33.13, and right now we're trading right around 34.54. So we're looking at about $1.40 of share price movement to the top side. And then in addition to that, what you have here is a candlestick formation that is starting to look top heavy at the moment. It's a bit of a hammer at the moment. This red candle here would currently be considered to be a hammer. If we do see a little bit of an upward price movement here, this hammer pattern formation can become a doji pattern formation. Essentially what that would mean, let's try to drill in here a bit. Essentially what that would mean, a doji candlestick formation, that's something you can look up, DOJI. Essentially what that means is it's a period of indecision in the market. It's a candlestick formation that has a very small body and then a kind of a longer wick. So the body on the candle itself is small, and then the candle wicks themselves might be a bit larger. So really what this tells you is that there's a period of indecision in the market. So previously what we had was a very strong bullish candle here. That's a full-bodied candle. We're not yet at the closing price for the day today. But even if we did see a bit of an upward price movement here, this would start to create a doji candle formation. And then what that does start to open us up to would be what would be called an evening star formation. If tomorrow, for example, we did see a full-bodied red candle, that would be a reversal pattern to the downside. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here because this hasn't actually happened yet. But I do think that this should be on the radar for people at the moment, given the fact that share prices did make this bounce higher, and then we're trading at elevated levels here. So the question is whether or not share prices will be able to maintain themselves at this level, or if we're just going to see a short-term spike higher in prices. In my view, that would be the most likely scenario because an inclusion in the S&P 500 doesn't really change the underlying fundamentals. It certainly doesn't change the forward PE valuation. If anything, it has made it worse. It's made it more extreme, more expensive, and I don't really see this changing the underlying fundamentals for the stock very much in any substantive way. So this type of news event can be a sort of a buy the rumor, sell the news type of situation where you see a spike higher and then a reversal point lower. So this is essentially the reason that I'm sort of alerting people here to this possibility in advance, because maybe we do see this start to unfold tomorrow, and then maybe people are interested in trading based on that type of formation. So if we did, for example, see a full-bodied red candle here tomorrow, something that would be somewhat equal in size to this bullish candle here, that would then create an evening star pattern, which is a bearish pattern. So I'm not saying that's going to happen or not, but that's just something to be watching for. As things currently stand here to the downside, if we were to start to see share prices move lower, or perhaps anybody that might be interested in going long on this stock based on a pullback type of scenario, one level that I would be watching to the downside comes in right around, this would be roughly 31.50 that I would be watching here. There are a few different reasons that I point to this area. We could even see a bit of a price movement below there as well, because that wouldn't entirely fill the price gap that was created during this news event here. That is something also that I should have mentioned. I mean, we're at some point, if we do sort of fall back into this empty space here, this empty region, the expectation then does become for share prices to fill that gap. The reason is because there are many buy and sell orders that are open in the market, even longer term buy and sell orders, and share prices, when they gap higher like this, they're essentially skipping over all of those buy and sell orders. So if we do see share prices move back into this region, you would then expect for those open orders to be filled, and more than likely, more often than not, that is what causes these share price gaps to start to move back to the downside after bullish events. The same can reverse if we see price gaps move lower. So, this wouldn't entirely fill the price gap to the downside, this 3150 level. In order to do that, we would probably need to move back closer to 3105 to completely fill this price gap. But we are looking at a prior resistance zone that came in right around this area. That would be the price high roughly from August 29. So if we did see a bit of a pullback here from roughly, we're trading right around 3450 at the moment. So if we did move back into roughly 3150, I do think that would be a bit more of an acceptable entry point. I think I said this last video, I absolutely do not recommend chasing these types of movements. They don't tend to be very long lasting. And in many cases, people can start to buy into a stock at the wrong levels. So, anybody that's currently buying in at 3450, the potential for upside price movement here is still limited. We have seen highs coming in at 3520. So this will be the main level of resistance to watch to the top side. But overall, the candlestick formation here is starting to look more indecisive. So we have about an hour left in trading. I do recommend that people take a look at how share prices actually close this trading day. And I would pay a lot of attention to this price candle itself, because if it sort of sets up the possibility for an evening star candlestick formation tomorrow, that could create a reversal point. And then if we do start to see downside momentum develop, you're going to get into a situation where this price gap is going to need to be filled to the downside. So here are some important price levels to watch. I wouldn't really start to get bearish on this stock unless we saw a break below roughly 2950. I think that would turn the overall bias into a sideways consolidative type of scenario, and we're trading quite a ways away from there. So that'd be roughly five more dollars to the downside before we see a situation like that. So here's the current stock market update for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.